And welcome to the On the Bus podcast. I'm your host, Merge. I'm here with Clayton. What's up, Clayton?
Hi.
A very loopy Clayton, I should say. Before we get started, follow us on Stitcher, follow us on Google Play Music, follow us on SoundCloud, and follow us on iTunes, of course. Give us a rate and review on iTunes if you like the podcast. And you can follow me at Merge Christian. You can follow Clayton at Lakers 1949, and
Thanks.
You
Almost forgot me.
Sorry. And you can follow the podcast at Under the Bus Pod on Twitter. All right, so let's get started. So Lakers played the Dallas Mavericks tonight. It was a very uneventful game. The Mavericks were peak tanking. They didn't play Dennis Smith Jr., Harrison Barnes, or Dirk in the fourth quarter, and they were playing Collinsworth, Jonathan Motley, Aaron Harrison, Andrew Harrison, whoever.
I think it's Aaron.
Whoever isn't on the Grizzlies. They're playing Matty Kleber. I mean, they were peak tanking, but Lakers won the game. They were down by 13, and then Julius pretty much sparked them and willed them to a win. Julius had
down by 13. Oh my word!
They're down by 13, and then Julius was like, "Yeah." Julius went full LeBron mode. He's like, "You know, I'm just not gonna. I'm just gonna take this whole game over right now." That's pretty much what happened.
Wonderful.
Lonzo got hurt, but at first they said it was a knee contusion. From what Lonzo has been describing it as, it doesn't seem like a knee contusion. I mean, he said it just felt like a dead leg, and someone just kneed him in the back of the knee on a back screen.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't sound, from what I saw him say and everything, it doesn't sound too serious.
He's trying to choose his words wisely, so Nunez doesn't hear any trigger words. Soreness? You're out.
You're out.
Yeah, he should be fine. The way he's been talking, the way he talked about it, he said it's really nothing.
In his Instagram stories, he wasn't even icing it. So
yeah, and Kuzma said something like, do you want me to kiss it and make it better? And I don't know. he was messing with it was pretty funny. But anyway, besides Zoe getting hurt, the really only other eventful thing, but besides the Julius 20 and 10, is Brandon Ingram finally coming back.
Yay.
He had 13.7 boards and 4 assists in about 23 minutes, which is ridiculous in 23 minutes. Mm-hmm. He was doing Ingram stuff. He hit 1 3 and 1 long 2, which I thought was a 3, but it was a long 2. He seemed to be a little rusty, a little out of control to start the game. After Zoe got hurt, he kind of came back under control in the fourth quarter because he had to play the point guard. He was cutting nicely. He looked like he was healthy to me. He just looked like he hasn't played for a month, pretty much.
Word.
That's what it looked like to me. So hopefully no one else gets hurt. Josh Hart's supposed to come back on Friday.
Supposed to. With Nunez, you never know.
He was begging to play today, Josh. Josh was trying to play today.
Oh, I'm sure he was, because he's probably tired of sitting.
Yeah.
The only thing he's been able to do for the last month is play Fortnite.
Pretty much, yeah. And have people on Twitter say he's not a.
To people that say that type of crap, like, it's basketball for them is still a job. Like, you go, okay, so what you need to do is you need to go home. And after a long day of work, you need to go home and you need to go work some more, because, you want to be good at what you do. I don't care if you fry French fries at McDonald's or you're an accountant. You need to be working 24/7, no sleep. Okay, You need that stupid Mamba mentality.
Shout out to nope, not even going there.
You need to have that bull crap, because you need to be the best that you can be at whatever you need. So you can't have hobbies when you're a basketball player. You can't have fun. It's just basketball. That's the only thing.
Get back into the gym.
Get back into the gym. Even though you've been lifting and everything, still you've still been with the team. But
Josh Hart's literally a tree. I mean, he's.
They called him like a mini Hulk or something. The training staff call him that, like, which is funny, because I don't really think he's like swole or anything. But
no, he's not swole, but he's as strong as it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the dude is still working. Like, the whole thing was to like some 10. He played Fortnite for 10 hours before a Cavs game,
And
like
they said something like, "Yeah, and I got a bunch of dubs too," or something.
yeah,
Like that.
yeah. Like I don't think people realize like a basketball player's sleep schedule. Like
Yeah.
these, yeah. I
And
mean,
also, this was before a game that he didn't even play too. So
yeah. Like you want him to, what you want him to go shoot with his busted up hand? All right.
yeah. Anyway, little tirade aside.
Sorry, just that's it's
It's
always
fine.
so stupid.
I know. My favorite part of that thing was the first comment underneath was something like, I sometimes watch the Sorry Lakers, and I've never even heard of Josh Hart. I don't know who he
Oh
is,
my word,
or
yeah.
something like that, and saying that
I sometimes watch the Lakers, which means like I haven't seen them in the last 5 years.
yeah,
I
pretty much.
just am only a
I
quote
watched
unquote fan because I live in Southern California.
pretty much. Moving on, let's talk about Travis Ware, who about a week ago got a rest of season contract with the team. Hugely deserved. He's worked his butt off to get to this point, and he was really good in the first 2 weeks with our first 20 days with the team. So good for him. And I've talked about this before. I can definitely see him. I can definitely see him being a 12th, 13th man on the team next year.
Yeah, I mean, like this is mainly just because we forgot about it last week.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he's still shooting 38% from three on 3.3 attempts per game and 13 minutes. So that's fine. I mean,
Yeah,
his rest of his shooting isn't great, but like honestly, the only thing I really want him taking is threes.
he's been better on defense than I expected.
Same. I thought he was just gonna be a turnstile, and he's been fine. Like
Yeah, he's been fine.
As I am constantly saying on this podcast, like you do need to actually worry about the back end of the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And as like a third power forward, I mean, a guy that is shooting 38% from threes and isn't being just burnt. I mean, like fast point guards are getting by him on screens, but for the most part, he's holding his own. So I mean, could you improve upon him? Yeah, like you could.
Yeah,
I want to be real upset if he was like the 14th, 15th man, especially.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I said, I expect him to be probably in the summer league team, probably with a an invite to training camp into preseason and stuff like that. So
yeah,
good for him.
He'll probably just be in competition for the final spot, and at this point, I wouldn't hate it.
Right, for sure. Something I wanted to add, not in Travis, but another point I wanted to talk about before we get into the bigger one. So Kyle Kuzma has played most of his minutes at the 3 and the 4. He's been a lot more of his minutes at the 3 the past month or so
because of injuries.
Yeah, and even today he played some 3, even with Ingram back.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask you, do you see any difference between him at the 4 and at the 3?
I think he looks more comfortable as a 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, on offense, he's essentially doing the same thing.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he was handling the ball a lot anyway as the 4. And
yeah, the main thing I want to see from him really is him doing the pick and roll,
which he's been looking good at it.
Yeah, he's been doing that recently, and if that is a weapon that he has next year with like Julius,
that's scary, man.
Whew, yeah,
that's scary, man.
It is. So, I mean, I guess it's just kind of hard to tell a huge difference.
Yeah,
he's been fine at. He's more of a perimeter player, anyways.
Right. I think
the biggest thing is he just hasn't been absolutely lit up on defense.
Yeah. I think because we talked about this during the preseason when people were saying that Kuzma is a 3 and he's not a 4.
No, he's still a 4.
No, I know, but I'm trying to say like.
No, I know what you're saying.
I don't think I think we thought he'd be like a dumpster fire at the 3, and he hasn't been that. He's been good at the 3, and he's been surprisingly good at guarding wings.
Yeah, I think some of that is just because he knows that behind him is Brooke, who's been solid in rim protection, and he knows that he's got Julius. You know, like
we can switch anything with him.
Yeah. So like I think it gives him more confidence in his own abilities. Maybe that's more armchair psychology that I'm doing right there because I'm tired. But you know, he's willing to risk more because at the beginning of the year he was not risking stuff.
Right.
Maybe now he's just being more forward. Is that the word? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. More aggressive, maybe.
There you go. That's fine. Sure. Yeah. He's looked better than I thought. I still would not make that his primary position, but
I think what this does for me is that it gives the Lakers more flexibility to either sign a guy who is a 3-4 or draft a guy who's a 3-4 or a 4-5. You know.
Yeah. The thing that was it on one of the latest Laker Film Room podcasts. I think it was. Someone was talking about how like teams don't go small because they just want smaller players. That
was Darius that said that.
Okay, yeah, because they go small because usually smaller players have skills that bigger guys generally don't have.
Right. And
with the Lakers having potentially the ability to go Lonzo, Ingram, Kuzma, Randall, and Brooke,
or with Brooke with KCP and have the 5-4
Julius and Kuzma. Yeah, I mean, like you have. I mean, for the most part, Lakers don't really have anyone underneath 6'5", anyways. I think Hart now is smallest guy.
Ennis is short.
I'm talking true rotation.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I know what you're saying. But like guys that actually should be playing, really. It's kind of one of my favorite things about how they're built.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gives them the ability to go big without losing skill.
Yeah, I think this is more of a skill thing than anything. Like, I think if Julius was 7'2", but he had the same skills, then he'd still be out there, obviously.
If Julius was 7'2" and same skills, he'd be
top 10.
He'd be Embiid without the stretch ability
and better playmaking, I think. But yeah, that's here nor there. But it's more of a skills argument than anything.
I'm not. By the way, I'm not saying that Julius is Embiid. I love Julius. Embiid is
no,
quite possibly the best big man.
No,
5.
We're saying a 7'3" Julius. Like that's what Julius has to do.
Yeah.
To do that. I just think that sort of thing. I think he's going to play a lot of 3 in his career. I think, like I said, it gives the Lakers the opportunity to get a lot more, get a lot more. What's what I'm looking for?
Skill.
No,
it also allows the Lakers
create a lot more creative with their lineups. Yeah.
It also allows the Lakers to, if he can handle the ball, and especially something I'm going to be looking for next year is his pull up.
That's a big thing. Ben Rose also talked about a lot too on Twitter.
Yeah, if his pull up becomes a forceful weapon, then next year it allows Ingram to do what he does anyways. But next year you're looking, or in the future you're able to look then for guys that are more defensive specialists.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you don't want to have a team full of them, obviously, right. But like. Right. You could potentially have a guy like
PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
Or like a Luka Mbamute or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, where they're more out there for defense than anything. And it doesn't hurt you.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Okay, moving on to Isaiah Thomas. Lakers announced today that he's gaining I don't know how to say it. Arthroscopic surgery on his hip, which he should have done in the first place anyway, after all this, he's losing so much more money. If he never played, he would have gotten 10 to 15 mil, in my opinion.
I think that was something I was thinking about on my way back from class was how much money did he lose from actually playing. Like, if he would have just sat the year
tens
out,
of millions.
Yeah, I honestly think that's true, because I think someone would have been like, yeah, the hip is a concern, but at least it's on track to be healthy. I think then you're looking at something like a 4-year, $60 million deal, something like that. Now,
minimum.
I mean, he's going to get more than the minimum.
I don't know, man.
I can almost guarantee you someone's going to give him more than a minimum. Even a cap strap team is going to give him the mid-level exception.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm trying to think of, I don't know what like the Bucks salary cap thing is.
Well, they have Bledsoe and Brogdon on the books.
Yes, but they also, like, I'm just saying, like, if they could add healthy Isaiah off the bench for the mid-level exception for a year, I think that would be a team that would do it, because they're always needing scoring on that team,
and they're always looking for the big name as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know exactly what team he'll go to, but I think some team is going to give him the mid-level exception, and I believe that's 7 to 8.
That's the absolute most I see him getting, though.
Yeah, I don't see him getting a $10 million contract, and I mean, like, I don't even see him getting his cap hold, which is like $9 million.
Right,
but
gotta keep.
I mean, like, the mid-level exception will be close to it, but I think that's what he's getting. But yeah, can you imagine if he didn't sit out and someone was like, yeah, we'll risk that? I think someone would have at least given him a 3-year 45.
What if he if he doesn't play for Cleveland at all, then I think Isaiah might get 20 mil. Like a year. Just from people looking back on his season before, the most recent season he had played basketball in.
There's always a stupid team.
Anyway,
I mean, look at us fans. A lot of us were wanting Bismack Biyombo on.
Yeah, he got on the money he got too, I think.
Yeah,
a lot of people were fine with giving him that money, but
I mean, I know I thought like he was gonna. I mean, it's Orlando, so like if he had taken that money in Toronto and stayed, maybe he gets better, but I don't know.
Yeah. There are reports from Adrian Wojnarowski and Ramona Shelburne that the Lakers had an interest in Isaiah in free agency. Obviously it has a lot to do with his health and how the free agency stacks up. Obviously we don't see them putting him a priority over Julius and over Paul George and LeBron, and even over like a guy like DeAndre, or I can name more guys. He's the absolute last case scenario, I think, for them. And this is if they literally strike out on everybody, even Julius, and they have to give someone money.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him
maybe with Julius as well. If they
I think it would be like if Brooke won't come here for like the mid level, or like won't stay for the mid level.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want Isaiah back? A few podcasts ago, I said that I would probably take him over KCP.
No, not anymore.
I probably wouldn't anymore. I understand the strengths, but I personally value defense and shooting more. That KCP can get, and when shout out to Jonathan, I don't want to seem like I'm bagging on him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I personally said his name.
Yeah. From Lakers
from front of the pod. He brings up the cap holds a lot when it comes to KCP and Isaiah, and I don't understand why, because they're all going to be renounced. Yeah, the Lakers want to have the most possible free agent cap space available. I mean, I guess like they could hold on to the very last moment, but like with KCP's cap hold, I don't even know if they'll barely have enough for for one max, I think.
The only cap hold they keep, we've talked about this
Is
today,
Randall.
is Randall, 100%.
Yeah, like Brooks' cap hold is like 30 million or something like that. That's getting renounced immediately. Because with that there's no way they can get anyone. KCP's is something like 22. Randall's is 12.5, and then Isaiah's at like 9. So
it really sucks after hearing a couple weeks ago that Julius was willing to take 12 mil.
I know
that really hurts because you know, I mean, that could let the Lakers really get LeBron and Paul if they really wanted to get all three of them. You know, like
yeah.
That would have been a bargain, man. That would have been like a Steph type deal. That would have been ridiculous. That would have been a bargain deal.
I agree. Not quite Steph levels, but
yeah, you know what I mean.
I guess I just don't understand. I mean, you could hold on to them, but I just don't really see them doing that because they'll just be like, look, we don't even have to like waive anyone because here you go. We have it all available. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I would much rather have the healthy player. And it does depend. Like, does Isaiah come back and he look
like
better healthy? Yeah. Well, I don't think he's ever going to be 90%.
80% Boston Isaiah.
Yeah. If he's 80% Boston Isaiah.
If he's Isaiah Thomas versus Denver.
Yeah. But like, I think he's been fine.
Yeah, he was okay.
He had good games. He had bad games.
He had a lot of bad ones before he got hurt.
Yeah, I think he had more bad games personally. There was some really, really good ones, obviously, that helped, but I don't know. I understand the point of bringing him in because then you don't have to use one of the picks on a backup point guard.
I mean, I get it, but I think there's some really good backup point guards in this draft. And
that's kind of my thing. Like, are you going to get a guy as good as Isaiah Thomas as a backup point guard?
No,
probably not. Obviously,
I mean, the person I would give that chance to would be Jalen Brunson, but
yeah, that's my point.
And maybe Trey Duval if he reaches his full potential.
Trey just needs.
If he ever gets a jumper,
yeah. If he ever got a jumper, then yes. But the question of that is, I have no idea. But yeah, I would never say never because obviously Isaiah was the 60th pick in the draft.
Yeah,
but I also want a guy that's incredibly cheap and
not 5'9",
and not 5'9". That's
Shamori Pons. Here we go. That's another guy I really like.
I hate you.
I like Shamori Pons.
I know you do.
Anyway, I don't really want him, but I mean, I'm not gonna be pissed off. I'm not gonna be when the Lakers traded D'Angelo pissed off if we got Isaiah. You know, I'm not gonna be signing Mozgov a minute after free agency starts. Mad.
Like, I'd probably just be more miffed and like, okay.
It'd be a super whelming signing. Very, very whelming signing.
Just whelp.
Yeah. Just like, all right, cool.
Boston Isaiah was outlier. He was, I think you're hoping for
that's maybe the best player under 6 feet ever. Maybe.
Yeah. So like, I think it's you're hoping for like Sacramento, Phoenix,
Isaiah,
and I don't know if he's that. He's going to be turning 30 in a year, less than a year. I can't remember if he's 28 or 29.
He's 29.
So like 30. Okay, so he'll be turning 30 with a major hip injury.
Yep.
And he takes a lot of contact.
I
mean, like on obviously a 1-year deal wouldn't be the worst thing, but like I would not have a problem with, and I kind of just prefer to just kind of move on. I also he's just been fine. Whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. Moving on, let's talk about draft prospects. So we're gonna do our top 20 draft prospects. We'll definitely talk a lot more about the draft on the pod leading up to the draft. But just our general top 20, some of these guys are guys who aren't like who are maybe in the Lakers range in the pick. And then we'll talk about some second round guys afterwards. So starting with Clayton, let's start with you. Let's go with your top 10 first. Just real fast. And then if anything stands out, I'll point it out.
What, top 10 guys in the draft or top 10 for the second round pick?
Let's start with the top 20 guys. Like it's in the draft in general.
Oh, in the draft in general.
Yeah.
I don't have a clear ranking. It's just so fluid right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I kind of would just kind of go with the Stepien. With I have Luka first still. I have JJJ second still.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Trey and DeAndre, and they're in the same tier like they do.
Yeah.
Porter's 5 for me.
Yep.
I am gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna go Bagley at 6, or not Bagley. Mikal.
Yeah.
Mikal at 6, and then I'm gonna go Bagley.
Are you just? Oh wow!
I'm gonna go Shea.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Bamba.
Wow, no Carter. Wow, okay.
Carter at 10.
Okay, all right.
I love Shea, and I
do too.
I think like I totally understand a lot of the great points that people have on Carter, and I think he's going to be a good player.
I think he's going to be a guy that's drafted outside the top 10 who's going to be better than half the top 5.
I think he goes in the top 10. My concern is just that he is a below the rim guy. Mm-hmm. He's very smart. He's very smart. Like, I mean, you can have top 10, 15 guys like Nikola Jokic. You know, he's not an above the rim supreme athlete. He's very smart. Carter is smart. You know, Carter can shoot now too. I think I'm a little lower. I need to watch more of him, to be honest. I hate watching Duke because I hate Grayson Allen.
I thought you were gonna say because of the zone.
Well, the zone is, oh my gosh, they need to kill that. But we'll see. I need to see more of him, but that's just kind of a preemptive. Like I would not have any problem with someone telling me I'm stupid and say that like they have him at 5. Like he's just really flew to me. It's just
Cole's Wicker has him at 4. You know,
Cole right now on
Stepien has him at 4.
Has it at 8.
Oh, I'm looking at Michael Porter. My bad.
Yeah. So I just on guys that are not super like, because I don't even know if I would say he's an average athlete right now, but maybe I just have seen bad games. So I just have a hard time with those guys in the top 10. I know Trae Young isn't some type of elite athlete, but he's also potentially an elite scorer and passer.
Yeah.
So, and then I guess after 10.
Oh no, let me go.
Okay.
So my top 4 are basically the same. Luka in his own tier, Triple J in his own tier, then Trey and DeAndre in their own tier. I have MPJ at 5. Marvin Bagley at 6. Wendell at 7. Mikal at 8. Mo Bamba at 9, and Zaire Smith at 10.
No Shea. Interesting.
Shea's will be my 11, pretty much.
Okay.
All right, let's go for you. 11 to 20.
11 to 20. I think I'm gonna go with Mitchell Robinson at 11. I'm gonna go Zaire at 12. I don't think he declares, but DeAndre Hunter at what, 13 now?
Yeah.
If he declares and he goes to LA like that freaking SB Nation, I'm going to die and go to heaven because oh man,
You'll be in Ireland. You'll die in Ireland.
Oh man, I will be in Ireland and everything. Um, yeah, I would be ecstatic.
Yeah.
Then at 14, I've got Miles Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been super high on him since last year, and this year did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
To encourage me that I was wrong. At 15, I've got Jonte Porter.
Jonte. That's my
I
guy.
just
Yeah, watch him, right? I mean,
I watched a little bit. I need to watch more of him. That's where it starts, kind of like after Jonte, it kind of just gets weird because like a few weeks ago or like a month ago.
Remember, you still don't have Sexton.
Oh, I know.
Okay, I thought I mentioned.
Yeah. Like a few weeks ago, I would have had Lonnie in there, but I don't think I do anymore.
Right.
So 16. Ugh. I'm gonna go
Rob Williams. And remember Daniel Gafford. I believe he's returning.
Yeah, Daniel Gafford, I heard, is returning too. I'm gonna go with Robert Williams at 16 because I think that he didn't look great this year, but he was also in a really weird system where he played power forward.
Yeah, he was playing with like DJ Hogg.
Yeah, he's gonna be a 5 in the NBA, so I think he'll be a little better. So Robert Williams at 16. Troy Brown at 17. I want to see Troy Brown play point guard somewhere. I think that's just what he's going to be.
Well, that's what he was in high school.
Yeah, exactly. At 18, I think I have Melton. 19. 19, I have Shake. I just love Shake.
Okay.
I think he's dropped too far on many people's boards, and someone has him as like a top 15 prospect or top 20 guy too. I can't remember who it was exactly.
I'll find him.
I don't think it was anyone on the Stepien, but I think he was just Who do I have him at? 19?
Yeah.
Okay, and then 20.
You still got Jacob Evans. You still got Kevin Knox.
I'll go
Sexton.
I'll go Evans at 20.
Evans, okay.
Yeah, I dropped a lot on Sexton. I know that he had an impressive couple games in the tournament, but
he had a good SEC tournament. Then
I went really. I showed some faith in him, but then I don't know. I just never have really loved him. And then I know that Kevin Knox is probably going to go like
lottery.
If he doesn't go lottery, he's going to be really close. But I think you're hoping he becomes
Kuzma.
And I
pretty much.
I don't know.
I don't think he has the handle, to be honest.
No, he's also only 20, so he's got plenty of time to develop that. But apparently, his dad said that he might return to Kentucky.
That'd be a horrible idea.
That'd be really stupid in my opinion.
They have like the number 2 class in the high school recruits. They don't do that.
Yeah, no. I would probably have Knox at 21 and then Sexton at 22.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know about Knox.
All right. I'm gonna go with mine right now. So Shea at 11. Jonte at 12.
Okay.
DeAndre Hunter at 13. Mitchell Robinson at 14. D'Anthony Melton at 15. Jacob Evans at 16. Troy Brown at 17. Robert Williams at 18. This is tough. One's tough. Have I missed? Oh my gosh! I completely missed Miles Bridges. Hold on. Let me rearrange real fast. I'll put Miles at 15. So I'll read it real fast. Shea, Jonte, Mitchell Robinson, DeAndre Hunter, D'Anthony Melton, Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges is at 16 then.
Yeah. Jacob Evans, Troy Brown, or Robert Williams, Troy Brown, and then number 20. This is sort of a curveball. He probably won't declare, but I like him. Jarrett Culver from Texas Tech.
The other wing from Texas Tech.
The other wing from Texas Tech. I don't know, man. That dude's a lot of fun. I told you when I was watching.
No, I get it.
He reminds me of Karis LeVert. And I love Karis LeVert so much.
Yeah.
That's my guy. So
there's really there's so much fluidity right now to like my rankings, especially like I think the top 4 are pretty much locked in for me.
Right.
Probably top 5. But like really there's so much like variance with all this because like Zaire might not declare. I don't think DeAndre Hunter declares. I would die if DeAndre Hunter declared.
I would die if Zaire declared.
Oh man, there's some I think who did I see say this? I think it was Justin Rousseau say he would do unholy things to get someone on his team. I can't remember. I think it was Giannis.
No, it was Mikal, I think. Wasn't it Mikal Bridges?
I can't remember. Anyways, I would do some unholy. Well, to get Mikal on LA, but like DeAndre, I think DeAndre Hunter is a guy that I am just. Yeah, he's my OG this year.
If DeAndre and Zaire both drop towards the Lakers pick, we would literally have a fight.
Yeah.
We would. I mean, because obviously I'd be extremely happy with either one of them.
And honestly,
if
both of them declare, I don't know if they go even close to where we have them.
Like higher or lower?
Lower, because like I think listening to Sam Vecini's the Game Theory podcast,
didn't he say he just put Zaire in his first round?
He has him at 24. I think he said.
Oh my gosh!
But he has a lot of great points. Like his things I've said too.
Mm-hmm.
His shot, it's not broken, but it's not very good.
Mm-hmm.
He's shown the willingness to shoot, but it's not something that's truly a weapon for him.
Right.
He has, and it's something I've noted, he has absolutely no handles.
No, he doesn't.
He's very bad at handling the ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, he had a couple nice moments against.
It's overall,
Nova?
it's really bad.
I think it's a work in progress.
Well, I mean, everything's a work in progress for all these guys, but it's bad. He's a good rebounder. He's a solid defender, potentially, obviously, amazing defender.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'5" with like a 6'8" or 6'9" wingspan. He's not overly long.
It's athleticism, man.
His athleticism is going to have to.
It's
ridiculous, obviously.
It's ridiculous, man.
But Sam said he thinks that he'd be like a bottom 5 offensive player next year if he were to be drafted. And honestly, I don't think he's wrong at that because I mean he's not exactly Andre Roberson, but he's not very good on offense.
I think that's fair, but also I think the playmaking is very underrated. I think that he's going to really showcase that in the NBA.
I think
he made some reads, man.
I think his passing is decent. I don't think it's amazing.
I'm not saying he's like Ingram or anything like that.
No, I know. I think. Well, one, you love athleticism like I love length.
I just think the switchability with him will be absolutely ridiculous, man.
No, I get your points. I understand that. I think, I have Zaire high too. What did I say? 12?
Yeah.
But I think that honestly, I think he could fall to the early to mid 20s, if not even a little lower than that.
Yeah, and at that point, I'm jumping for joy.
Oh yeah, no, me too.
I know.
I would be very happy. But same thing with like DeAndre Hunter. He's
just
DeAndre. I think. What did I say? I had him at 13.
Mm-hmm.
I may actually.
No.
Theoretically, left him in my own head because he's shown to be a better offensive OG type with slightly less defense.
Yeah,
He's
he has a face of
6'7", 6'8" with a 7'2", 7'3" wingspan,
yeah.
and he's shown the ability to actually shoot with more reliability than OG did.
And he has some moves too.
Yeah, he has some actual handles. OG has shown some of that in the NBA. I haven't been able to watch him lately, but I remember earlier in the year people were talking about it. DeAndre is kind of like my dream too for this team.
And Zaire mine.
Yeah. Like me and D Parks 24 have both kind of drooled over him. He's got solid base.
I love DeAndre, man.
Like very solid base, and
we both have DeAndre in our lottery, so I mean we really like him.
Neither of us would be upset if
I'd be jumping for joy for either.
If they were both on the board, I would obviously go DeAndre, with you would go Zaire.
Yeah.
But that's the guy I want to declare selfishly.
Yeah.
I fully expect him to go back to school. I don't expect him to.
I think Zaire has a better shot of declaring. Just because of how Texas Tech went this year and how far they went in the tournament, stuff like that.
Yeah. Texas Tech has three guys that could be drafted?
Yeah, Jarrett Culver maybe, and then Keenan Evans, who's pretty good.
Their senior point guard. So, like...
That's another reason why I can see him leaving, because Keenan Evans with that team.
If they all three of them declare, that team is decimated.
Yeah, 100%.
And then if he goes back, then he becomes Hamidou Diallo.
Hammy.
So
let's move on.
I do love him. Yeah, still I don't care.
let's move on to Hammy. I love Hammy. A couple of people who we haven't brought up that we want for the Cavs pick, and I think of the guys we haven't brought up, Jalen Brunson's my guy.
I just don't like the idea of drafting a backup point guard in the first round.
Either that, or I could actually that or Shake, because I haven't brought up Shake yet.
Shake would be my clear guy.
Actually no. I'm sorry. I totally forgot about this guy. Lonnie Walker. That would be my guy.
Oh yeah. Well, he would be amazing in my opinion too. I do love Lonnie.
Lonnie would be my guy at that pick.
Lonnie, Shake,
and then I just love Jalen Brunson. So
yeah, I think like potentially, but last year we also thought that like someone was going to take Mason Frank Mason. In the first round, and he ended up going pretty close. But there's just so many backup point guards.
I mean, I thought he's in a backup point guard, but I thought Josh Hart was going to be a top 25 pick, top 20 pick.
Yeah, I think people are regretting that now, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a lot of different guys that are backup point guards that could be available that early second.
I mean, I think Jalen can be like a Patty Mills, Sean Livingston type backup point guard. Like,
he's not as tall as Sean.
So. Well, no. I'm not saying play style. I'm just saying like the elite of the elite backup point. Because that dude's just smart, man. That dude just knows what to do.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, and then of the guy in that range, I wouldn't mind. I've been watching a little bit of Kenrick Williams, and he's definitely caught my interest. And how I talked about, having Kuzma play some three, you could have him at the four, Kenrick, or I guess vice versa as well.
Yeah.
But I think he might be a little bit of a reach. I think the only people who are really high on him are like Stepien people or like draft Twitter people, and I haven't really seen him in the first round for a lot of like mock drafts and stuff. Let's go a little bit deeper when it comes to the Denver pick. Of the guys we haven't brought up, a couple of guys that I'd like to bring up are Josh Okogie from Georgia Tech.
Or Okogie. For some reason, I was thinking.
You're thinking of Mini D'Angelo. Okogie from Georgia Tech. He's 6'4" with a 7-foot wingspan. He's an athletic guy. He's a good defender. I mean, just the measurables alone are interesting. Obviously, going back to the idea of drafting our four, Gary Clark would be a really interesting guy because he's just a defensive menace. At least in college, he's been a defensive menace. And I think he'd translate really well into the NBA. Going really deep, where's my guy? He won't declare, but Rui Hachimura is be awesome.
Yeah, he's not declaring.
He's not declaring. Where's my guy from? I can't find him. Okubo would be cool too. My guy from Admiral Schofield.
Oh yeah, but with seeing the rankings of so many of these guys, I would go Bruce Brown at the Denver pick. Like right now, he's on the Stepien at 45. I think that's mainly because only two guys really have anything ranked after a certain point.
Yeah. Of course, also Hammy Diallo.
I still love Hammy, but I have no idea where I would take him. But yeah, Bruce Brown. I guess maybe a Gary Trent.
Gary, at that point, I'd be cool with Gary Trent.
Yeah, him in the first round, no. If you didn't take a backup point guard, possibly Devontae Graham
or Trey Duval.
Trey Duval is that's mainly just like an upside pick. I have no idea. Like,
if he's there, I'm picking him. To be honest,
I'd be fine with it. I don't think I'd be super happy, but yeah. And then I've seen a lot of people have like Chandler Hutchinson drop.
Yeah,
I think he got really high and then he's low. I think he's going to go back high again. I don't know if he's going in the first or like. I think he's probably like. I think someone will end up taking him like 25.
I've seen a lot of mocks have him in the top 20.
Yeah, I haven't seen that anymore.
And then really, really deep guy, I have to bring up my guy, Malik Newman from Kansas. That dude killed it against Duke. That dude just dropped hellfire on that Duke zone. He killed it. I mean, he just dropped buckets on that team, and I think he's a perfect guard off the bench who just ended up score for you.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
And I've heard he's a pretty decent defender for his size as well, and he's a decent passer as well.
He's a decent defender. He's an okay passer.
Because I think he has decent length for 6'3".
He's like 6'3" for like a 6'7", 6'8" wingspan.
Yeah.
So like he could guard ones and twos potentially. I haven't seen him really since Mississippi State, and he looked bad there. So
someone
that used to be my boy, but
yeah. Someone that I've seen Sam Vecini and Cole bring up is Jerry Foster from SMU.
Yeah, SMU. He's a very interesting guy. And I think they said it too. Someone's going to give him a second round guarantee. And honestly, I could see him going top 40 just because of the measurables. I know he's out with a torn ACL, but I think someone would risk it just for that upside. So,
yeah. Anyone else? It's gonna be really interesting. Do not put Grayson Allen anywhere near me. I don't want him anywhere near the Lakers.
Putting Grayson Allen there, you're just a Duke fan.
If for some reason this guy declares, I mean, I'd love Zach Norvell, but he's in a really Hachimara boat. I don't see him declaring.
Yeah.
Isaac Bongo used to be a super high guy, but he's dropped, man. I don't know what happened to him. He's been super low.
Yeah, I think that's what like 12 guys plus that we named. I think
a bunch of guys.
There's plenty. Like people have said, like after a certain point, the draft thins out. But I said it earlier in the year. I think there's like 45 guys that are
who are
worth that could be like
rotation players,
possible rotation players. Not saying all of them are,
or like two-way guys, or something like that.
Yeah, like, but I think there's going to be plenty of guys, that wouldn't surprise me. Like, oh yeah, he's pretty solid.
We didn't bring up Kaden Bates-Diop. I think there's a possibility he can still go in the first.
I think he goes first. I think he easily goes first.
Jared Vanderbilt's an interesting one too.
I don't really want him in LA.
No, yeah, he's. I mean, he is a 4, and I guess if my thing about Kuzma is true, he wouldn't be a terrible fit. But yeah, Devon Carter's another guy that people would throw around. He'd be a whatever pick for me. He's a really good defender. I don't trust his shot. He's a good playmaker. That's pretty much him, you know. He's a West Virginia guard. West Virginia guards tend to not be able to shoot for some reason.
He'd be good for defense, and I think he'd be fine.
Yeah.
Like with the Denver pick, it wouldn't be inspired, but yeah, he'd be fine.
Yeah. All right. That was a lot of people. Again, we're gonna go a lot deeper, a lot more. I think a lot more individual with the draft. We're gonna probably try to bring some guests on to get their takes on the draft as well. So look forward to that. And I think that is going to be the end of the show. Anything else you want to add, Clayton?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. Let's let Clayton go to sleep so he doesn't get too loopy. Thanks for joining us. Remember to follow the podcast on Twitter at Under the Best Pod. You can follow me at Merge Christian, and you can follow Clayton at Lakers 1949. Again, we're on Stitcher, Google Play Music, and SoundCloud. If you're on iTunes, give us a rate and a review. And so thanks for joining us, and peace.